As men, we think through our logical brains, and we expect women to think, say, and do things logically just like we do. Women aren't wired the same. It's not to say they aren't logical thinkers, it's to say they see the world through experiences and emotions as a primary lens. Men struggle with understanding this, and bruh, it's killing your dating life. Let me explain how logic and emotions are important to understand each other. My man, your logic is incomplete without the emotions and experience of your woman. Logic is essentially quantitative theory. We break everything down to numbers as men, the sum total of its parts, and how we explain what's in front of us. If you show 2 bananas to a logical guy and a psychologist, one yellow and ripe, the other spotted, and you ask the logical dude how many bananas there are, he'll say 2. This is pure logical thinking. 1 + 1 = 2. An example of logic in its purest form in real life would be the game of chess. Chess is a set of problems to be solved: attack, defend, retreat, within the broader scope of the bigger game. You use cause and effect along with deductive reasoning to try to win the game. You may assume a player is protecting his queen, and in that assumption, you deduce that you can attack the king. This is one component and an example of how we produce logic. Your logical lens is hurting you with women because you're putting your logical expectations on her experiential lens, and you're wondering why it's not working. She doesn't see the world the way you do. Men see facts as bottom line statements. Women see facts as intricate to the story, but only a part of the story. So we're speaking the same language, but with different accents and dialects. I'm going to help you understand, from my experience, how to close the communication gap. I had someone in my comments recently saying that all women like bad boys, pretty boys, rich boys, and on and on. I encouraged him to look deeper. What do those men have in common that many of us don't? I can tell you, they're confident, charismatic, often attractive and conversational. These guys are providing an experience that many other men don't provide, or notably aren't trying to provide. Women typically look through life from the lens of experiences. So let's go back to the banana. The logical dude sees 2 bananas. The psychologist sees 1 edible and 1 inedible banana. One sees the solution, the other sees the experience. Now, this is how psychology is making your relationships and dating more challenging. As men, we often see things as black and white. If there are areas of gray, we think our job is to resolve these areas and make them more black and white, to eliminate the gray. Often, women see that same gray area, and that's what they enjoy the most, explaining the gray. For women, the experience is greater than the solution. Let me give you 3 ways to change how you think about using psychology to your advantage in dating and relationships to make women love you more than the bad boys or the pretty boys or boys to men or whatever. Ask her how she feels. Yeah, bro, I jumped right off the deep end to start. Ask her how she feels about the situation. And I know. A lot of us are taught that feelings don't matter. And maybe they don't matter to you, but they do to her. And what matters most to you of all things is what's important to her. So ask her how she feels. This accomplishes a few things. One is that it shows that you care about how she feels, which she's going to be very happy about. Second, you're going to understand how she feels, and you can gauge better what her experience is like. Understanding her experience is often just as important to her as it is to you to come up with a solution. Allowing her to experience moments, opportunities, and situations, both good and bad, is a path that we can take to help her feel heard and appreciated. Asking her how she feels is important to both give her the space and time for the experience, as well as the man acknowledging that her feelings are valid. Asking a woman how she feels about a situation and listening to her experience without judgment, my man, that is the first step in foreplay. Every man within the sound of my voice should ask his woman often about how she feels. What do you need? We know we need to listen, empathize, and be in the moment with her. But even after we do that, We must ask her, what does she need? Not necessarily a solution, but what you're doing is clarifying what she needs from you in the moment. We don't like it when women expect us to read their minds. So the way we avoid this is to ask her what she needs. Does she need you to listen? Does she need a solution? Does she need to simply be emotional? Or does she want someone to experience joy with her? Find out how you can be a part of the experience with her, physically, spiritually, mentally, sexually, psychologically. Again, what does she need from you? You're going to fight your logical brain, my boy. Just get ready. You're determined to figure out the problem and solve it. And there's a time for that. But when you ask her what she needs, you'll know if this is the right time or not. So I want you to process psychologically and think logically. One of the biggest reasons men and women work is that logic and psychology counterbalance each other. If you're talking through something or working through a problem or issue, process the emotion and the experience with your woman. If you're dating, listen to her experience and try to see it through her lens. Share your thoughts. When it's time to make decisions, you have the woman's experience that you've learned. Now you can impart your logical thoughts to make decisions. Women don't want you to become a different person. They want you to respect who they are and include them, their thoughts, their feelings, and emotions in the process. Bring logic back into the conversation as you make decisions. But you'll be more informed, respected, and loved when you process with your woman in the way she processes her thoughts. Okay, so let me keep it real. Often as men, we're caught up in thinking logic is superior to women being emotional. Having emotion, experience, and feelings are just as important because women were designed in a way to make sure our balance of experience and solutions work together to create the harmony required for this whole thing to work together. The way you think is not superior to your woman. It's just different. Once we understand that women and their perspective is crucial to the relationship, it becomes evident that our self-esteem and belief in women is important to charisma becoming your superpower.